They were the biggest cult folk band of the 1960s. Together they made 43 records in their year-and-a-half reign as the kings of underground psychedelic folk music. But the question remains, why did they go their separate ways after such a short time together? As Live TV exclusive investigates the rise and fall of the Kings. It was 1967. The hippie culture had taken a hold on the world and the Vietnam War was still raging. A young budding guitar player had already made a name for himself as one of the best guitarists in folk music. His name was Rick Alvin.
1967. Yeah.
Alvin had made his name by constantly playing gigs at various local clubs in inner city Melbourne. He'd become so famous for his skill that people had spray painted the words "Alvin is God" on the London Underground.
Yeah, the whole God thing. That got really out of hand, didn't it? It gave him a massive ego boost, and I was way too young for it. Now I actually think about it, I don't have a lot of Londoners love me so much. I mean, I was way over in Melbourne, and they never even heard any of my records. I was so obscure.
At the same time, usually across the road in the dodgier clubs, another young man was making himself famous as the Heart Magician. His name was Stan Astor.
Bob Dylan had nothing on me. I was like some kind of magic man with the harmonica. Not to mention my name means eagle. What does his name mean? Bright fame? Stupid name for a name.
It was inevitable that the two musicians would meet. And it was at the Temple Club that the inevitable meeting occurred, when Astor asked to sit in on one of Alvin's songs.
To tell you the truth, I just got evicted from my apartment, so I had to find somewhere out of the rain. And that was the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, no, I remember the night. I'd been on stage for a couple of hours, and by that stage, I really needed to take a whiz. I'm not gonna lie there. I had a couple of drinks, had a lot to drink, yes. But I saw the guy, and I thought, look, big nose, could be mistaken for Godzilla, but very good on the harp. So I brought him up.
It was instant chemistry, and the pair quickly formed the Kings.
Yeah, no, look, the name was easy. I'm not gonna lie to you, we were kings of the folk underground circuit. So, you know, we figured that was given, but we also figured in that same instance, you know, being proclaimed God was great, but didn't want to go so far as to call our band the Gods. You know, didn't want to pull a John Lennon and get ourselves in trouble with the church. John Lennon, great guy, but seriously, after he said that, you know, I'm not going to say it, but after he said that, he died.
So he said, hey, we're pretty good musicians. Kings, in fact. Yeah, it was a bit hyperbolic, but it worked. And we were the Kings.
They quickly brought out their first LP, Tyranny, and became well known for their stage antics.
Not many people like Tyranny. Maybe it was something to do with the title or something like that. But in all fairness, if you think of a king, you think of tyranny. Makes sense to us.
It was also that year that they embarked on their highly ambitious, yet impractical, world tour.
Yeah, no, look, someone once said to me that 153 shows was a ridiculous amount considering we'd only released our debut album 2 months prior. I didn't think so. We weren't fazed by this. We went for the 153 shows for a reason. We definitely, look, I'll say that we relied on our pre-Kings fame to fill those seats, but, you know, I had a good vibe about it, you know, 153, just a nice number.
The tour was a disaster. 149 shows were cancelled due to lack of attendance, and the Kings went home early.
Didn't faze us. We bounced back really quick.
4 months after the tour, the pair recorded Electric Right-Wing Politician Land, which became an instant anti-war classic.
You know, look, the sessions for Politician Land, they were great. We had a whale of time on those, but of course this was before the acid was in the picture.
The album quickly gained popularity amongst smelly left-wing hippies, which prompted the pair to embark on another tour. Less ambitious this time, it included only one show split up into different songs played at different venues. This tour has since become the stuff of myths amongst Kings fans, but this is where the cracks would start to show in the pair's relationship.
You know, look, we took a different approach for that one. It was really just the one concert for the whole tour, and we just moved that concert from city to city. So, you know, one city might just get like a bar of a song, the next one might get half. Not even we know how long we're going to be on stage for. But, you know, that concert ended up going about half a year, and, you know, it was very stressful. I think that's what turned us down to drugs.
I was so stressed out. I just needed something to loosen me up. Started off with a harmless joint every 6 or so hours. Escalated into a non-stop acid trip.
This rare archive footage shows the cracks that were beginning to form in the pair's relationship.
What are you doing, man? What's the rule?
Don't take acid on tour?
Exactly.
Yelling at me, man. Just mellow it out. Come on, here, take this and good for you. Oh, no.
What are you doing, man? What have you become?
What have you become?
Things just got worse and worse. We thought if we got back into the studio, we might be able to patch things up. We ended up recording 40 albums in 10 weeks, and every single one of them was horrendous.
I was in a very, very stoned state at that time. I don't even think I was playing the harmonica through those recordings. I think I was playing an old folded up Woody Guthrie album sleeve.
It just got stupid. By the time we got up to the 40th album, we knew the dream was over.
It was on August 1968 that the Kings announced their split.
Hi guys, thanks for coming, everyone. I was just going to read a brief statement, and then... With great sadness and hopeful optimism for the future, that the Kings have decided to cease to exist as a band. This is due to creative differences between myself and Stan. Someone like just a medic or I don't know, something. Just get it cleaned up or whatever. Just something. Just get him something.
The pair agreed to play one final show following the release of their last album, Goodbye. But that show never opened, with a last-minute argument between the pair resulting in its cancellation. This rare archive footage contains the argument and its causes.
Hey, shut up, man. Why would I anyway?
I don't know.
Maybe because you're a stupid acid head. You'd be nothing without me. Nothing without you. I was something before we even started this. I was proclaimed God. Oh, here we go with the whole God thing. Well, you know what? That doesn't stop the fact that I'm going to quit now and here. Here and now.
Hey, where you going? No, we're going to show you. Where are you going? Where are you going?
It was good while it lasted, I suppose. Like, who else has done 43 records in a year and a half? We have.
I mean, we did a world tour. How many others can boast that achievement? Not many. That's how much.
Maybe we'll do a reunion someday. Now that I'm clean and all, maybe we'll be coherent. Yeah, that'd be nice.
I guess we really were kings after all.